Hello and welcome to the Luxury Lounge. That's right, every Thursday we head in the lounge, we shut the door, and we air our grievances with the world. And there's no grievance that's too big or too small or too frivolous. You can grievance about whatever you'd like. That's the beauty of the lounge, is that you get to come in here and no one can look at you and go, no. There's bigger problems. Nope. The only problem is your problem in the lounge. And we're here every week. Send in your emails, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com, title it Luxury Lounge, and then give us a little sauce. Luxury Lounge, ba-da-da-da. You know what I mean by ba-da-da-da. Luxury Lounge, give us some sauce. Let us know what you're talking about. Shelby on the ones and twos, reading these emails every single day. He's got that nightcap on with the big poofy ball at the end. He's Scrooge McDuck, just by candlelight, reading everything you've got. And we're on YouTube. We're on all podcast apps. You know the story, people. I got live shows. That's right. I got shows in different area codes. Shows. I'm in Timonium, Maryland, Richmond, Virginia, Boston, Massachusetts. We added a second show. JaredFreid.com, Miami. We're going to Miami. Bienvenido a Miami. Yeah, I always like that part. Okay, Virginia Beach. I'm coming. JaredFreid.com for tickets. Assemble the group chat. The shows have been amazing. The crowds have been great. I told you, I get compliments from every club. They're like, Jared, the people that come to your show, chef's kiss. And it's a reflection on me. You know, my children are representing me well. A reflection on you, a reflection on the type of show this is. The fact that we come with reason and nuance and context, that means you're good people, which I love. So come on out to the shows and bring other good people. That's the thing. I want it's like a fix-up. I want you to bring your friends. If you like me, your friends are going to like me. So JaredFreid.com for tickets. Get those tickets. Miami for Thanksgiving. Let's go carve the turkey with Uncle JTrain. What else we got? Nothing. We got a great guest. Very excited. First time in the lounge, but back on the JTrain podcast, Danny Jolles. Thank you for coming on.
Gosh, thank you so much. I've been wanting to jump in on all those songs that entire time, but I held off.
You held off from the singing?
I was like, I could hit a little harmony or something right there.
Listen, we have a whole hour here to sing together a duet of complaints. I got a hair in my eye. Look at this.
Ooh.
Do you blow the eyelash for good luck?
Yeah, I do that stupid thing.
Do you wish?
Yeah, I wish, and then I feel like an idiot.
Yeah, you're 37. How old are you?
35. And I do it. I pull it out and I go like, I hope this special does well. And then I'm like, what am I doing? What are we doing? What are we doing in my life?
This is where the economy's at. We're wishing upon eyelash. Do you think our parents did that until 35? You think they were 35? Like my parents had me at 27, so that means I was 8 years old. Do you think I wish I could afford milk this week? Like, what is this?
But then I look at them and like, on one hand, you're right. It's like my parents were so much more together and they had real jobs, and that seems nice. On the other hand, I play it back and I'm like, but I don't think they were ready when they had me.
Well, that's the other thing. We think they were ready.
Right.
No, they were us with us.
Right.
With kids. So,
yeah.
It's like when you first get your first job out of college and like you're like a year into that job and you realize you're like, oh, everyone doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
I miss regular jobs so much in many ways. I was born for commission sales. Mm-hmm. I was incredible at it in my day.
What were you selling?
The one I was best at was theater tickets.
Theater tickets?
I sold theater subscriptions to the La Mirada Theater and the Geffen Playhouse.
Okay.
And I could talk anybody into that deal.
Subscription, so someone like, hey, you're going to be able to see all the shows we do?
Yeah, basically I'd call you and if I'd be like, oh, what'd you think of the show? And if you said you liked it, I'd go, great, can I tell you what's coming up? And you'd say, okay, and I'd tell you about 5 to 7 shows that are coming up. And then I'd say, do you think you want to see 2? And I go, then I can get you to all 7 for that same price.
And you're doing a little bit of like, you're manipulating them. You're going, if you want 2.
I genuinely, particularly for... I'll say it, for the Geffen in particular, the deal made sense.
Right.
I genuinely felt I was selling a product that I was like, if you genuinely think you might see 2, I can get you tickets to 7. It'll be the same price. You'll be able to move seats. Like I would go through all the things. They just want people to buy those subscriptions so badly that they will incentivize it to the point where versus La Mirada, where I was kind of tricking people.
Well, this is the thing with comedy too. This is a great way to get into your special, which is out on YouTube. It's there waiting. People are like, I do this explanation. I've gotten some feedback recently where people are like, no, I was asking. I don't know if people like when I'm like, I push people's specials. I want people to go watch your comedy. I know for a fact they are going to have a better day than they would have without the comedy special.
Yes.
So it's an easy thing to go on YouTube. Danny has a special out right now. It's called You Choose, and it's youtube.com/don'ttellcomedy. Don't Tell Comedy. He's wearing the hat right now if you're watching on YouTube. I wear the hat
because I think you got to support people that allow people to make good stuff.
Right.
And it is a I wouldn't use the word choose your own adventure, but you can put that in your brain. But it's an interactive comedy special, so you choose what you want me to believe throughout the whole special.
So basically, you go. Give me an example. You're doing a political joke? Are you doing a political joke and go, I can go right, I can go left with this joke?
We try to keep it, so it escalates. So by the end, like one of the last choices is like, do you believe in conspiracy theories?
Okay.
And you can choose, and I will defend conspiracy theorists, or I'll be like, it's stupid, and here's why. And
this is the beauty of the internet.
Yes.
You came up with a concept. You're like, here's this new play on stand-up.
Yes.
And it's not really a new play. You could have just done, the special, here's a for and who's against. But this is a fun way to play with the medium that is YouTube.
When I did it live, I would do it where I would basically I would sort of pretend like the crowd was tricking me into the other side. I would do I would do it where I'd like go on stage and I'd be like, I love conspiracy theories, blah, blah, blah. And I'd do the joke and I'd be like, hell, you guys didn't like that. Like, actually, I hate conspiracy theories.
Right.
And I would go back the other way. Mm-hmm. That's how I would do it live. And that works as an hour and it's very fun. And then there's this big there's a big ending. There's a point to this whole special.
Okay.
Without getting into what it is. But there is a prestige, to use a magic term.
The prestige. Is that a term in magic?
Yes.
That wasn't just the name of that movie?
No, that's a term. So I structure the special off of magic.
Right.
So it is because I'm insane.
Yeah.
There's a present, there's a turn, and there's a prestige. So the present is it's going to be a comedy special. The turn is you're actually going to be able to choose my opinions.
Right.
And then at the end, there's one final twist. There's one final thing that happens in this special.
Now that movie makes so much more sense that it's called The Prestige.
Because it was all about the final turn.
Because it was all about the final turn. Uh-huh. Oh, this is amazing. This is great. See, we come in the luxury lounge and we learn.
And your first choice, by the way, is do you love or hate David Blaine? That's one of your first choices.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the jokes.
So the joke premise is David Blaine. I mean,
yep.
Just really overhead.
Yep.
David Blaine, and then I either like him or I don't like him. Mm-hmm. And I asked you before we started taping, like, how do you even do this? And then YouTube, you explain.
Yeah, you jump, so you'll click, and you'll jump to another video that's unlisted, and you will go and see that version of the joke, and then that version of the joke will end, and you'll get two more choices, and you'll go to the next version.
This is amazing. I love this, because I said this with podcasting. I was like, podcasting started as one thing, and then it keeps moving down the themes and the types of podcasts. So you start with sports podcasts, and then it goes to, well, we're going to do murder mystery. And then you go, oh, well, I like talking about dating. Okay, there it is. Yep. When you have an open venue, when there's no gatekeeper, when there's no one, Mr. Netflix is looking at you. I can't believe a Netflix would love this idea.
They passed, and I'm not going to be quiet about it. Well, they did. They're lovely people there. Appreciate them. But
built for Netflix.
But that's why I wear this hat, because Don't Tell Comedy allowed me to make this. We made it together.
They help you financially?
They helped me financially.
Love
they put
that.
it together. They are Brad Silnutzer and Gordy Earl directed it, and it was a very hard. I mean, it was impossible premise to even explain to people. Having to explain this before we'd filmed it was a nightmare, and we didn't even bother sending that to Netflix.
You almost have to do a little sizzle.
Yes.
Showing people
which I did.
how you...
I had a 20-minute sizzle.
And for those listening at home, I know this isn't like an industry specific, but the sizzle is like, here's an example of what I'm going to do. So Danny will go on YouTube, make a video of him being like, and you can... and at the end, and then show people literally, this is how dumb people are. And again, because... And not even dumb. Like, I'm sitting here wondering if this is communicating over podcasts. If people at home... There might be someone at home going, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're turning off right now.
Which is...
There's someone else going... I get it.
Yes, and the beauty of the special is, I promise you, we open with a very clear explanation.
You're going to
get it. You will understand.
Go to youtube.com/don'ttellcomedy. If you're not familiar with Don't Tell Comedy, they put on shows across this great nation of ours that literally they don't tell you the location until the day of. I've done the shows. Let me say this about Don't Tell Comedy. The venues are always pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like they're not, comedy is venue. Comedy needs a good venue.
They're gonna look for at least a low ceiling. They're gonna put you in a place that you won't believe works, but does work.
It works, and then always busy. Always, I don't know where they started this email list. They always have crowds, and I always appreciate that. So and now they're in the YouTube.
Now they're in the YouTube
business.
world. They've been making. I did my first special with them, but it was very like. But this one we were really going for. It's living on their YouTube channel. They've been putting out all these videos. They're best. I mean, I really think they're going to be taking over the special world in a little bit.
Love it.
And I'm
so
honored to get going.
Everyone go check it out. It's called You Choose. What a fantastic date night on the couch, Sunday hungover. Go to youtube.com/don'ttellcomedy. Danny Jolles at Danny Jolles on Instagram. Go follow him so you can get to his special very quickly. Let's get to the complaints. Shelby, I'm going to go first. Hit the music. Jared, he has some problems. Jared, he's got some issues to do. Get off his chest right now. Jared has a lot of issues. Jared has a issue with a lot of things that we can discuss. Can you relate to the problem now?
And whose voice is that?
Michael Bublé.
Wow.
I got the boobs.
That's a big get.
That's a big get.
He sounds incredible. He sounds better than ever.
It's unbelievable.
He's getting better with age.
My complaint today, choosing a date spot. There is nothing more stressful in the entire world than you got a date. That's the luxury of it. I got a woman who wants to go out with your boy JTrain. And I'm sitting there going, where am I going to take this person that is... It has to be... You're looking for a combination that doesn't exist. I should open up a chain called Date Spot. Because it really has to... But it wouldn't make enough money. That's the problem. The more niche you get... I have a friend owns bars. He would always say, we're not going to be an Eagles bar. We're not going to be a Patriots bar because that tells people, go away. You might be and you only get 8 games, 10 games a season if one of the teams sucks. So you keep hacking away at your own audience. The same goes for the date bar. You want a place that's low lit, quiet.
Quiet. That's the biggest one.
Right? Quiet, low lit, because you want to look good. You want to feel good.
Sure.
Has open seating.
Yes.
And isn't like gonna push food on you. Yes. You want to be able to sit and go, hey, we're just getting drinks, and then they let it go.
Which is sad because because when I was like in my single days in New York, I'd always do a dinner. I would usually do a
first date dinner.
I can't. I stopped. I stopped by my later single days. I started doing drinks. I felt it was too much. It was too much, and so I was like, all right, drinks are less expectation, and everybody isn't mad.
Let's have a quick drink. And the problem is, and then I like to have a reservation. When I make drinks, let's get a reservation. You can't make a reservation for a bar.
Yes.
You can't make it. So you're basically going, and if the person that you're going out with is giving you a little bit of issues. And I'm not saying I'm like I gotta whack her around a little bit. No, that's not what I mean. Like if she's giving me guff. No, if it hasn't, if they don't seem easy, this becomes harder. Because if you go, how about Tuesday? And they go, I can't go out on Tuesday. And you go, well, does Thursday make sense? And they go, I guess I don't like to go out on weekdays. You're like, okay, this place now has to be even better.
You're also doing the whole thing of like. And I just feel like we're in a golden age of lack of enthusiasm. And so there's a lot of, even just with friends, people being like, yeah, I think Thursday will work. And it's like, I don't want to be difficult, but will it work?
Right. Give me something. Don't give me sure. Can't wait. Can't wait to see you.
Yep. Thursday, we're doing it. Or let's not do Thursday. But sure.
And sometimes you get a vibe where you're like, now I'm like, this place. I remember one time I made a date and I go, this place, 8 o'clock, go. And then I was late, and they got there early. And I'm like, of all the times, because every date I've ever gone on, the woman has shown up late, which to me, I'm like, I get it. They're like, I want to make my entrance. I want to make sure they're there first.
Sure.
I get why.
It's a power move. It's smart.
It's a little bit of a power move, but it's a power move I'm actually okay with.
Yeah.
Let me get there early. You get there late. I got there late. She got there early. And she's like, and I'm like, hey, I am so sorry. And I kept apologizing. They every time I'd say sorry, they were like, it happens. No. I want you to say, totally no problem. I get that you're trying to get here.
Of course, I'm a human. You're a human. I obviously have been late before. It's not an insane premise.
Right.
I'm assuming you weren't crazy late. You're probably, what, 10, 15?
15, probably. I'll even say it might have been 20, but I'm texting the whole way.
Of course.
And I don't think it was 20, but I'm giving the grace in the story. And then I got there and there were no seats. And they're standing up like, what now? And I'm like, and you go, oh man, I just wanted to be able to like sit and get to know you with no other things going on. And right now I'm sitting in this mode of like, and I'm looking over, you go to all the key players, Eater magazine, Infatuation, you're Googling date spots, in an area that you want to go to. And no one has the list that is like, here's 10 bars. It always gets mixed in with restaurants and where you could eat and where. I just want 10. I can walk in, have a seat. Hey, want drinks? All of this. They'll have this. Let's go.
Yep.
And that doesn't seem to exist in one space.
It is tough. I would always, and then you do what I would do, which is I would go to the same place with everybody.
And then when you do that, and that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah, because then you build a reputation in that place.
And they're looking at you, go, oh, and even if they don't recognize you, you feel like they do because you're the star of your own movie.
And nobody is smart enough to not make a little noise, which you're like, shut up. But yeah, I used to do, so when I was in New York, it was Patsy's.
Yeah.
It was my spot, which was a pizza place.
Right.
Because it was like cheap, but you would order pizza together, which I liked because you sat down.
You're eating with your hands.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you like on your pizza? There'd be the pizza discussion at the gates.
Ooh, I like this.
And that was fun. It was kind of.
Now we're talking pizza.
Pizza.
And you're out of the internet game of I do pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
No one's doing pineapple on the date. They're doing it on the app.
Yes.
Because they want to sound interesting and funny, and it's been pre-approved internet language.
Right.
On the date, they actually be honest with you, and they go, I like a cheese pizza.
And it also gets you out of that first 10 minutes like, so where are you from? Where are you there? Instead, it was like, so what do you like to eat? Mushroom. Why do you like mushroom? And all of a sudden, you're talking about other things. And then by the time you order the pizza, you've kind of already on topics.
Yes.
And then you're past that. And then 30, 40 minutes, and you're like, sorry, where are you from? And it's like that. And that was always great.
You bond over the pie.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's go to your complaint. Hit the music. It's the guest's turn to complain. Buble is back. They're ready to jump in.
Like he's getting stronger.
It's unbelievable. Usually a voice cracks, goes away.
His is getting better.
His is getting better.
Stronger.
And better. Stronger. The lyric play. He's scatting a little bit.
What I like is you can tell that he really sat in the booth.
Yeah, no.
And
he cared about this.
I got to get this one right.
Right. He didn't. This was a favor he did for me. I didn't even pay Buble.
Yeah, and I feel like you probably were like 15-second jingle max, and he was
something.
like, no.
No, he went in the booth. He got it done. He had a tea. There's herbal tea in that voice. All right.
So this is, and so my understanding is this is a very safe place where we're allowed to talk about very safe things because this is going to be a bad complaint.
I love it.
So I just got married 4 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. When you get married, you create a registry. Mm-hmm. But you create a registry. I mean, your wife.
Foreshadowing. We're going to get into a registry talk.
Are we?
In this episode.
Oh, I can't wait to get into it.
Okay.
Whoever that person is, here to talk to you. So your wife creates a registry that you are kind of briefed on, but
you are 50-50 owners of this registry list.
Oh, yes.
But you probably gave 5% mental energy to it.
I wish it was that high.
Right.
I didn't really factor in. Also, though, you trust the person you're about to marry, and you forget that they'll just order anything for a kitchen. So our kitchen now has 700 things, and people have bought us 700 things for our kitchen, which is very nice. It's very nice. But also, we spend a lot. The wedding isn't cheap, so everybody's losing money in this. But there
also, the kitchen is what people think is like, this is an old school thing that hasn't transferred to the new school. Mm-hmm. You guys were probably already living together. You probably already had a kitchen together. The registry was created to be like, let's get these kids in their new home. That's not what this is anymore.
It's ridiculous. But also I will not blame them for what they got on the registry because in their defense, just My wife put them on there.
We're blaming your wife.
We're blaming my wife, 100%.
Yeah.
And I've blamed it to her face. I've been like, why do we have this now? We have a second air fryer. We already had an air fryer. She's
And
like, but
again,
this one can do more.
Again, this is because of we're old school, new school. Old school. These two virgins are gonna move into this home together.
They're gonna need to eat after the first time having sex.
Right. They're gonna need pots. They're gonna need pans. They're gonna have to put all their sex toys into a closet. We gotta get them a closet. That's what they're doing. And you have 2 air fryers because we haven't caught up yet. You should be getting the sex swing, not the intro to sex.
That's what I would. And that's what I was preaching. But instead, we have 1,000. But then, here's my complaint. So the people send you all these things, and out of the gates, you're writing thank you notes, and we're making good pace. And the wedding happens, and all of a sudden we come back to life, and now my special, and I'm doing things, and she's doing things.
Thank you notes become like 17th on the list.
17th on the list, and people after a month or 2 after your wedding are like, hey, haven't you gotten a thank you note? Did you
They'll
get
say something?
They'll say something, and you're like,
Oh my God.
and you'll be like, yeah, we're working on the thank you note. My understanding is we had a year to write it. We're going to get it to you. People get like in their head, like, did you get it?
And the more Jewish aunt the person,
Oh, and we both got Jewish aunts, so we are dealing with Jewish aunts.
There's an Eileen out there that's going, did you get the toilet scrubber? I didn't even get a thing. You must have not gotten it if I haven't gotten a thank you.
I've said this once, and I'll say it 100 times. Jewish aunts are like moms that don't know you. They come in with the confidence on your life choices of a mother, and then you're like, you don't even know my middle name.
You just got here.
I don't know you.
Right.
Why are you allowed to speak to me this way?
I just love the way they speak to you. You know, I sent you.
Yep.
And I haven't. You must have not.
Wanted to check that you got. Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
Did you do it through the registry?
Right.
We got it.
We're scrubbing the pan you got us right now with a thank you note that we're not sending to you.
And look, in defense of Jess, like she is the one responsible for thank you notes because I am lazy.
Okay.
So this is her job, but she's working through them. She's trying her hardest. And
right.
we are getting harassed left and right about it.
I think you got to join in. I know it's her job.
Yeah, I know, and I know I should.
Divvy this up.
I know I'm a bad person.
No, what you do is, and it brings you back to bar mitzvah days because you go, I'll do 10 a day. Yes. And then you go, I'll take Monday off. I'll do 20 on Tuesday. And now you go, oh God, I got to do 20. And you're like, and that's how it happens. Yes. That's how you fall behind. And now you're like, why'd we even invite more than 10 people to our wedding?
A wedding really is a second bar mitzvah.
I would
it's
assume.
The exact same. It is just the same.
But now you get to
thing.
share it with someone else who will yell at you for not doing the thing,
and double the amount of family. Double the amount of family different family issues, which is fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like every family has problems, and now you're doubling it. So it's like we have this kind of problem over in my family.
Right.
You don't have this problem, which is great, but you have this one, which is bizarre over here. What's happening with this relationship?
I used to say, I've said it on this podcast before. My dad's favorite saying, which is also kind of depressing. He's like, it's not you that's going to have the issue. It's whoever you marry will tell you why you should have issue with it and make you get angry at your family.
Yes.
So like you and your family have melded together in whatever way they've melded.
Yes.
And then you have a wife that comes in and goes, wait a minute, you allow them to say that to you?
Yeah.
And you go, yes, I do.
I've literally had to have this conversation. I've had this conversation with her where she's like, I mean, you're just, and I'm like, yeah. That's just how we talk to each other.
I have given this up to have this.
Yes.
I've made a negotiation with myself.
I don't care about it anymore. That's how they speak to me. That's just how it is. I don't care. I have fought bigger battles.
Right.
Those are the battles I fight.
This is what you're referencing is a small little militia fight going on a field. I have a larger war to fight.
Yes. And between that and therapists these days who are, I feel like there is a therapist.
There's a therapist list. This is my therapy.
There is a therapy army right now of therapists that just get people mad at their families.
This is why the country's breaking apart.
Truly.
Yeah.
Every therapist is like, well, was there anything your parents did when you were younger that wasn't great? And like, some people I know are like, I don't talk to my parents anymore. And I'm like, why? Why? Who did that to you? It's like, my therapist like really pointed out some stuff. It's like, all right.
Yeah, no, therapists need to have that family empathy.
They go in on family. You got to be careful, man. The therapist got me on my family for a hot second.
Let's go to the lounge. Everyone go follow Danny at Danny Jolles on Instagram. The special's called You Choose. It's a choose. I'm saying choose your own adventure, but
of course, those are the books, and we would never say we're the same thing. But we are a.
Are you not allowed to say? Is that part?
They're slightly litigious, I guess, and
really?
So we are. Yeah, even though that is a common phrase that everybody uses, but we would never say that because we're not that. We are a choose your own, and I would say you can go on an adventure.
How about choose your own special?
We've used every version of no. You can say that. We say interactive.
What are they? The Michael Buffer of they're
very. All we know is that we've observed in the past. We looked online, and so we want to be very clear. Even though of course I used the word choose your own adventure because choose your own adventure books taught us this format, and everyone should go appreciate those books. And we love choose your own adventure. This is not insane. That. This is choose your own, and you might go on an adventure.
You choose. On YouTube, Don't Tell Comedy. All right, let's go to the lounge. Luxury Lounge. Too hard to send registry gifts for second baby shower.
Ooh.
Okay.
We're out of my world on registry, but we're close.
We're close. We're registry adjacent. Love the pod. Love seeing your stand-up in San Diego. My complaint today is twofold. Let me explain. I have a friend I'm not super close with who lives over an hour away, and she is soon having a baby shower for her second baby. I received my invitation, which included a link to their baby registry. If you're inviting people an hour away, that's an invitation.
It's tough.
That is send a gift that you're being held hostage.
An hour away is just close but far enough.
Right. Meaning I now feel obligated to give them a second baby gift in addition to the one I gave her for the first baby a few years ago. Complaint number 1. Isn't a baby shower for the essentials like a diaper pail and... Diaper pail? Is that a thing?
I have no idea.
And baby carriers, etc. Shouldn't they have these items from baby number 1 still? Again, old school, new school. The baby shower probably was invented with the intentions of helping someone in need.
Yes.
Now they are thrown by people who have no need.
Yes.
And that's the same for the wedding registry.
Free shit.
They just want free shit.
Yes.
And
I'm guilty of this right now, so I'm allowed to say this.
Well, you're as guilty with we haven't evolved in guilt. We have evolved as a society.
Yes.
So the same guilt you would have felt in the 1950s when your friend had a baby and they needed diapers is the same way you feel now when your friend doesn't need diapers.
Right.
So I can't make it to the baby shower, but I go on the registry and to add my gift to my cart, only to receive a notification letting me know that they have not added their delivery address to the registry website. So I'll need to either get the item delivered to my home or I need to reach out to them to confirm their current address so I can fill it in myself.
What are we doing?
Horrible.
Now that's
fuck off.
Now that's bad.
That's where I give up.
Now you lost me. I was willing to defend. Now I'm not.
Now that's where I go. No gift. Done. I'm out. I'm willing to handle the embarrassment. And then if they said something, I'm just assuming. If they go Jewish on me, I go, well, there was no address.
Yeah. We tried.
We tried.
Yeah, we tried so hard, actually. It was frustrating. I'm sure you heard about this.
Now I'm extra annoyed. If you're going to ask me for a gift, then at least do me the courtesy of putting your address into the website so it's pre-populated and does not give me the task of trying to figure out how to get this gift to you because I live far away. I don't want the gift getting delivered to me, and I know I can just send a quick text for the address, but I don't want to have to do the back and forth small talk via text that might come with it. So... and also, I just feel like I shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. I know this is petty, but I can't help but feel annoyed both at the implication that I have to give another baby gift and the gift-giving process wasn't just a few simple clicks. I'm with them. 1,000%.
1,000% with you.
I have kids too, and I personally think that gifts are after the first baby should be optional, and that creating a second very long registry list of some nice to haves items for people to get you is kind of annoying. You shouldn't have as much to buy this time around, so just buy any additional stuff yourself. But hey, maybe I'm just a bitch. Anyways, thank you for creating the lounge as a safe space event, and for all the funny, sincerely, buy your own baby wipes. What do you think? This is horrible.
It's tough. The only positive spin I can put on this, and I just was thinking about it because I was trying to come up with positive, is, if you're going to have to get somebody a gift, there is something to making a little performance out of it. And now you do have a reason to perform because you're going to get to send a text being like, obviously I'm trying to get you a gift because I'm a good friend. You didn't do this. And obviously what a great friend I am to ask you about this. You're going to make a little production out of this gift you're giving, which is nice. That's kind of a way you get back to them is be like, oh, you want to populate it? Great. I'm going to put on a little production about how I was about to get you a gift because I'm such a good friend and now you have to respect it. You know what I mean? It goes, you get a little kind of double points. You can make a little show out of it.
I think that is fun. Also fun that they have this thing that they can shame the other person for. So what I do sometimes, and this is probably why I don't talk to a lot of my friends anymore. Maybe this is why, I haven't heard from them before. Because I would go on making a video of me going on the website being like, no address? I would Jewish aunt them.
That's very funny.
You know, so I'd make a video of myself going, oh, can't wait to buy you a gift. Wait a minute, no address here. I guess you guys wanted to give me the gift of wasting my time.
Yep, great move.
And you Jewish aunt them. Let's learn from the aunts in our life.
And anybody who's Jewish knows how to come back to that. That's an easy comeback. Now I make a video being like, oops, it's now in there. So get back out there, tiger.
Get your wallet out.
Yeah. That's an easy response. I think that's a good time. I would
have some fun with making them shamed.
Yeah, you wouldn't lose me as a friend. And that's what I'm saying there. You can have some fun out of shaming there.
Right. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Send in your Luxury Lounge complaint. Title it Luxury Lounge. Shelby's Reading. We're here with Danny Jolles. We are sponsor people. Joy Mode's Sexual Performance Booster is like a pre-workout, but for sex. Joy Mode makes natural and science-backed sexual wellness products for men. Put simply, the Sexual Performance Booster enhances sex drive and blood flow, resulting in better performance. ED prescriptions can come with all sorts of side effects, and over-the-counter gas station pills are sketchy. That's why Joy Mode was created. They knew that they could do better than everything else on the market. It's easy to use. 45 minutes to 4 hours prior to sexual activity. Tear open the packet and mix with 6 to 8 ounces of water, just like your favorite electrolyte packet. You'll notice better blood flow, better erection and quality and firmness, and increased sexual energy and drive. Boom, that's it. Want to spice up things in the bedroom and boost your sexual performance and do it naturally without nasty prescription drugs? Joy Mode has a special offer for my listeners. Go to usejoymode.com/JTrain or enter JTrain at checkout for 20% off your first order. That's usejoymode.com/JTrain for 20% off your first order. Thanks, Joy Mode. I love that.
You're losing money if you don't take the deal.
Right. You got to get in there. You know, free money, people.
You're losing money if you don't do it.
Here with Danny Jolles, @Danny Jolles. You choose. That's a special Don't Tell comedy on YouTube. Luxury Lounge. Goodwill.
It's fun. Go there right now.
Go right now. Pause this. Go. Put it on your TV. Get it ready. And then come back.
Yeah.
Goodwill is too good for me. Feather. I recently moved across the country, and I'm in the process of settling into my new city with my fiance. For context, he's lived in this new city for a year, and I am just now joining him. I've had endless luxury complaints throughout this.
About this city,
right?
What city is this?
Well, we're gonna find out.
All right.
What it is. I've had endless luxury lounge complaints throughout this process, but this one seemed the most absurd. I'm preparing to move from my previous city. I got rid of nearly 2/3 of my belongings. I was able to make. That's got to feel so good. I have a bag over there, ready for Goodwill.
Really?
I bring a bag every week. I've brought a bag, and I somehow keep having more clothes that I don't, and I keep picking through, and I keep breaking up with T-shirts that I'm like, Jared, you've never worn it. I have like these talk with it is so hard.
Oh,
every week, new bag.
I keep the same shirts for decades.
Really?
Oh yeah, my wife has we have in our condo she has a full closet, like massive walk-in closet, and I am in zero part of it. I am on like a small little side section.
There's one cubby.
I literally am like a cubby outside of it. That's like my area because she just. But I'm like I don't buy things. I don't own anything.
Right. You're just. I mean. Quick escape. You can get out of this thing.
Yeah.
If you ever have to move out, you're like,
true.
Oh, just pack up the cubby.
That's it.
I'm preparing to move. Okay, so I got rid of nearly 2/3 of my belongings. I was able to make multiple trips to Goodwill to donate used items. Each of these trips took less than 5 minutes. You pull up to the front of the store, and some lovely gentlemen are ready with bins to take your items to sort later on the day. Now that I'm in my new city, we have to get rid of even more shit to make room for our wedding gifts in our studio apartment. We've tried to go to Goodwill multiple times to donate our gently used, in good condition items and left because there was a long line of cars waiting to donate because the employees sort your items in front of you and won't accept items they deem unworthy. Ooh, I don't like this at all. Since when is Goodwill too good for shit? I could understand how this is a more ethical approach. What's ethical?
No, I don't understand this at all.
But my understanding was that Goodwill was created so that over-consumers don't have to feel quite as bad for getting rid of their shit on its way to the landfill. Sincerely, a budding Karen. What do you think? I'm about to sound bad because I didn't realize there's an ethical component of this. To me, the Goodwill is the dump.
No. The Goodwill is a place you give things to where then they are going to you're a good person if you give it to Goodwill.
Well, that's am I?
Yeah, you're a good person.
But here's the thing: we live in this world where you find out later on that you are, in fact, a garbage person
Sure.
for how you think of certain things. I bring this stuff to Goodwill. And listen, I'll sound bad on my own show. If this is what makes someone stop listening, we don't connect on any level. Mm-hmm. I'm bringing these clothes to Goodwill to get rid of them.
Yes.
The idea that good things come from that, where clothes someone in need, very nice. That is not the first reason I'm bringing it.
But here's why you're a good person. Because here's the thing. You could just chuck it in your dumpster.
Right.
And you don't. And instead you took it to Goodwill, which is a slightly inconvenient thing. And that's why you're a good person, because it allows it to be rewarded.
I walk it over there. I put it on my shoulder. It's always a long walk. I'm always sweaty after it. But we live in the internet. What's going on right now? This is like the perfect example, because I know there's someone out there that's like, well, you can't call the Goodwill the dump. To me, it is. I'm dumping off and making it someone else's problem.
Yes.
And I hope Goodwill makes the people getting that work at Goodwill are making money for the service they're providing. The service they're providing to me is to get rid of old things that are going to be cumbersome in my home.
Yes.
The service they're doing for someone else, they have many levels of service. That they're giving gently used items to them at a better price than they could have found at a first purchase option.
Yes. That is the premise of Goodwill. The premise of Goodwill,
right,
in my understanding, is that, hey, don't throw things in a dump.
Right.
Take it here.
Give us a chance.
Give us a chance.
Right.
We're going to find a way to use it.
Right.
We're going to give it to somebody else who could have this. That's the beauty of Goodwill. So here's what I'll say is, because as someone who Goodwills regularly, who lives around the corner from a Goodwill, goes into the Goodwill a lot for auditions, because I will buy sometimes specific shirts to match an audition.
Again, they didn't even know that, and there's someone out there that goes, you're taking away a shirt from someone who needs it more. No. I don't agree with them.
Taking a t-shirt.
No, you're taking a shirt that's helping you on the audition. This is
I'm also not wealthy enough where I am the problem. Right. I promise you, I need. I could use it.
Don't you understand that this person seems what's going on? They seem embarrassed to complain about this because there's someone out there that's going, well, it's not your garbage can. It is to certain people.
Here's what I would say.
Like this purity of thought. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I 100% support this person.
Completely.
The only thing I'll say is you are supposed to pre-sort it.
You are?
Yes. You're supposed to take clothes one bag, items in other bags. You're supposed to pre-sort it.
Oh, that's different.
So just do a pre-sort.
You don't have to pre-sort your clothes, though.
No. Just pre-sort clothes here, items here. Give a little bit of pre-sorting.
This makes sense.
Other than that, you give it to them, and then they either resell it or they can't, in which case they dump it. They are not supposed to make you wait like that. They're supposed to take a quick look. But they're not supposed to
do all. No one should look at you and go, you're this? Like, I don't want to do Goodwill giving in front of my mom. My mom would go, you're never going to wear it? You don't think? You don't want it? What, you never even worn it. She would put a whole emotion on each item that I don't want to deal with.
Love that shit.
Right.
Oh, you
never wear anything I buy you.
I got it. Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah. God forbid. It's like, no,
I want this out of here. It makes me feel fat. I'm getting rid of this. Is mental health.
It's me. It's for me.
Like, can you imagine if every Goodwill outside of it had just one older woman? Like, you're gonna throw this away. Yeah. You're just giving up on this shirt.
But that's where I'll tell you what they should do. Better business model. Goodwill, put somebody near a dumpster who's doing that. Who stops people when they're about to throw? Oh,
that's where these people should be.
You're gonna throw this in a dumpster. You could at least give it to Goodwill.
Right.
At least put over there. That's a great job. That's a job right there.
Do you see what I'm annoyed at though? Like pre-annoyed that there's someone out there being like, it's like, however this person thinks of Goodwill, it's getting there. Be happy that it got to Goodwill.
That's the whole thing. People should be giving things to Goodwill. I have no clue why Goodwill is rejecting it, other than like give it a little bit of pre-sort ahead of time. That's it. I have no clue why Goodwill is causing that kind of problem.
I assume, but also as far as creating jobs, there's a job in, hey, we need sorters.
Yep.
Hey, people.
And they always have a bunch of sorters.
And I go into this Goodwill. It's the St. Luke's, I think, over here. I mean, I guess I shouldn't name it. I'm calling it the I'm not. I'm just saying.
Listen, it's not a high class establishment. I don't think we're being disrespectful.
It's not about. I'm not calling it. It is what I use to get rid to dump off. So to literally dump off. So I go over there and I think about this every time I drop off a bag. They go right over there and I go thank you and they go thank you and I walk out. It's as if I lost 50 pounds. I feel so not good for the giving. Yes. I don't feel good for the giving.
Although you should.
I should, but I feel good for not having this stuff in my place.
And for the record, your experience of, here it is, thank you, that's how quick it should be. I don't understand why your Goodwill is so long that they're...
Yeah, because there's a judgment.
Yeah, I don't understand what's happening at Goodwill.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. We're sponsor people. Ooh. Brain health, like our physical health, is a daily challenge and lifelong commitment. You don't just work out once and expect to be swole. When it comes to your brain, daily lifestyle choices can help your overall brain and cognitive health. Taking that first step towards better cognition and improved brain health is easy with First Person. Made with functional mushrooms, First Person supplements stimulate the body's natural production of triggers that help improve energy, mood, and sleep. I've been taking these First Person. They come in beautiful casings. They're before bed. It feels pretty good. I'm a fan of their items, and it's 100% grain-free organic mushrooms sourced with the best in class vendors. It's really cool, really amazing. I love this little new agey. I'm into it, and people are gonna love it. And they have and you put it in these little cases and. One's for, before bed, and then there's others that are during the day. It's good. It's good. Start improving your brain health and cognition with First Person. Get 15% off your first order by going to getfirstperson.com and use code JTrain. That's GETFIRSTPERSON.com, code JTrain for 15% off your first order. Getfirstperson.com, code JTrain. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So let's go back to the emails. It's jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. You're
Jolles. Losing money if you don't do it.
Yeah. Don't want to lose money. Shelby, did I sound bad with the Goodwill stuff? Shelby seems to be the moral arbiter of this show.
They sort it so you don't want stuff with gravy stains.
Well, listen, they should sort. I don't believe everything I give to Goodwill is touched by God.
Yeah.
But that's part of the service to me.
But you think they should do it in front of you?
I mean, just give them the stuff that you think people would wear.
Well, I don't think anything. All this stuff I'm giving isn't because it's torn up and has holes in it.
Isn't it better to give them the option? Because they also have a cleaning. I mean, they have a bunch of washing machines in there.
I think you give it to reasonable people. I think people just
You think some people?
Sure.
See, I guess I understand. I don't like making my. I don't like. We do operate this way where we're operating for the most extreme version of person. I had workout shorts. I threw them out yesterday. There were a hole in the underwear. That's the garbage.
Yes.
Hole in the lining.
Yes. Obviously, we aren't sending them anything. That's a disaster.
But shorts underwear that I don't wear to work out anymore because they don't fit.
Yeah.
That goes to Goodwill. That's my I don't know. This idea that if you don't think of Goodwill in this specific way, you're an evil person. It's now you've gotten me out of Goodwill.
Yeah. No, I think everybody should send their stuff to Goodwill. Continue to believe, other than this one story, which she is correct to be upset about, but I think most Goodwills, they're going to take most of your stuff, and they're certainly not going to give you a hassle as long as you aren't delivering true garbage to them.
Luxury Lounge, audio overexposure. Jared, love you long time now onto my complaint. Love it.
Fast.
Fast and easy.
Fast love.
I was minding my own business this afternoon, listening to the Luxury Lounge as I do on Thursdays. My iPhone prompted me with this notification screenshot attached. Do you have the screenshot, Shelby?
It just says lower your volume.
It says lower your volume? Okay. A little backstory. I drive for FedEx and typically drive the same vehicle every day unless it's in the shop for repairs and maintenance. Today I had a spare van in which pairing to the Bluetooth is a total pain in the ass, so I can deal with being a pioneer for a day and use my auxiliary cord. My iPhone is now shaming me for having my podcast on too loud. I'm sorry, Apple, but since when are you doctors who can tell me how much audio exposure I should have? Fuck off and let me enjoy my luggage lounge in peace and as long and as loud as I want. Thanks. So I guess when you put it on a certain volume,
I've had this happen.
Your iPhone says to you, you are too loud.
You're too loud. You're gonna hurt your ears. I got this notification. I know what she's talking about.
Right.
Or he.
What do you? We don't know.
We don't know. Person. Yes, I had it happen to me.
Yeah.
I did the exact same. I was like, huh? Mm-hmm. Excuse me? And I wasn't particularly loud, which was what made me upset.
Right. And there is a moment where you go, you don't know me. You know, like, Apple, who are you to tell me what my ears can take? And then you go, wait a minute, I use this every 7 seconds all day long.
Sure.
Maybe it does know me.
It probably knows me better than me.
Right.
At this point.
Right. It literally serves me ads for things it knows I'll want before I even know I want them. So
I think of something and I get an ads, which I don't know how they're doing.
Right. So maybe we should give ourselves a little bit to Apple. But what will bother me most about this is the idea that, like, I'm here to chill out and listen to a podcast. And now you're telling me that I've also... This is the day I'll think back to when I have no hearing later in life. Like we don't need the stress. It is like the equivalent of Facebook memories. It's the equivalent of like it's almost like these apps are starting to do do you really want to do that? They're like starting to like do that to you with stuff like this. It's like, no, how about I just live in blissful naivete? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know the volume's too loud. I know I drink too much. I know that, when I put a bunch of butter on my popcorn, it's not good for me. Yeah. Let me think it's 100 extra calories and not 700.
Yes.
Let me live in the land where I'm giving myself the benefit of the doubt that reality will not.
Do you have those, do you have the calorie tracker apps?
I used to use them a lot. Now I'm doing, I have like a more of a meal structure that I'm going with that is a little less numbers based. And this is again, like, listen,
those calorie counter apps will absolutely destroy you.
They'll destroy you because I know what you're talking about because Alex Turoff, who's a nutritionist who I think is wonderful and everyone should go follow at Alex with an I _Turoff. She's helped me. But what a nutritionist does and what a calorie app tracker does, it brings you to reality that you don't want to face.
Yes.
And because I remember like when I first started consulting Alex, she would say, I'd be like, okay, well, what? Like, I remember being like, I go to the Delta Sky Club. Mm-hmm. What can I eat? And then I'm like, and in my head, without Alex, I'm like, yeah, so like what? I'll make a plate with like a bunch of eggs and potatoes and bacon, and then she'll go, well, you could have one slice of bacon and half an egg, and then she starts talking like in real numbers, and you go, oh God.
Well, it's also because I'll tell you right now, you make that plate and you go, hey, not gonna have a pastry,
right?
Look at me, turning my life around. And then you talk to them, and you're like, no, you're still. I mean, might as well have a pastry.
Right.
Like you're
already in pastry time.
You're already doing that.
Because I get this bagel. So I get this bagel sandwich. So there's a place nearby that has egg whites with onion and turkey. Ooh. And it's like a scramble. So I went to her and I was like, hey, what do you think? Does this work for the breakfast calorie that I want to do? Mm-hmm. And I remember she was like, it's perfect. She's like, and sometimes she'll go, you could even add a little avocado. And you go, don't even need it. I'm good on this egg. Mm-hmm. We good. And then one day I was like feeling a little healthy. And I was like, you know what? I'm hungry. Why don't you put that scramble, that egg white scramble with onion and turkey, throw it on an everything bagel and toast it up. Yep. And they did that. And I had it and I'm going, this is the most delicious thing. Like, I was so happy. I'm like, I'm being healthy. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a bagel on a weekday. Life is good. And then I texted Alex to be like, hey, so what do you think of this on a bagel? I asked after the fact.
Of course.
And she was like, well, you could do like one slice of toast with it. Like that was.
How do you feel
the bagel was not.
Yeah.
She was like, what?
Yeah,
No, you can't have this This whole
it's just
fucking loaf
brutal.
of bread? What?
It's
And you
brutal.
go, and then I had to make the decision. I go, now I know the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I do. Today I got the bagel. I got sesame bagel with the egg white sandwich. I live in a world where that's fine enough.
Yep.
But I know if I go to Alex with it, she'll go, well, maybe you do, what? And I'm like,
Do that. Might as well get a pastry.
right.
Get yourself a donut then.
Yeah, that's how she talks to me. Why don't you have a donut now, pig?
Yeah.
No.
No.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's the
yes.
same with this audio.
I get it. Yes, 100%. It's annoying. We don't need it.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Danny Jolles. Go follow Danny Jolles @Danny Jolles. YouTube.com/Don't Tell. You choose. Don't Tell Comedy. It's called You Choose. Go. We want them to
Please.
watch. It's out right
Please.
now.
It's fun.
It's fun.
You get to play.
What a great date night. Like, if you're, I would say comedy is for 5 dates in.
Yeah.
One first date, no.
But it's a fun, it's sort of like a pizza.
It's like a pizza.
It's like my
Get to
pizza. You now get
discuss.
to pick.
I think the comedy special is probably like, it's level 2.
Yes.
Where pizza's level 1.
Well, make it anytime you're showing somebody something funny that you think is funny. But at least with this one, potentially you haven't seen it yet, so there might be a together exploration of if. But there's nothing scarier to me than at this point, my wife showing her anything that I think is funny and just watching her be like,
Nothing feels worse.
she's.
When someone writes back with a meh, you're like, oof.
Oh, particularly when I show her because I'm into I was raised on Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, Colgate Comedy Hour, and so every now and then I'll be show her just literally an all-time favorite comedy moment for me, so the Johnny Carr, just something where I'm like, check out this moment, and just watching her be like, I try to show her it's a mad world now 17 times.
It's a great movie.
Oh, of course, it's a great movie.
Yeah, right.
Can't get her through it.
That's one of those things where you're like, you're married now.
Yeah.
You're in. You're stuck with someone who doesn't like
That is a part of getting
mad.
married is you just watch them go from I'll try your stuff to when I first started dating her, she was like, what are your sports teams? And she was so into it. She's
Right.
yeah, Wizards. I love that. It's now she's like, you can have it on. I don't care. And you're like, all right, you used to pretend.
What is no, well, why don't you show her the new version of Mad, the Mr. Bean one?
Please. How dare you? A disgrace.
What is that called?
Rat Race.
Rat Race. That was the
Horrific.
remake of a Mad World.
Oh, the amount of people who I'll talk about it's Mad World, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's like Rat Race." I'm like, "Rat Race is like that," and also it's not.
What if she's comes to you one day and is like, "Have you seen Rat Race?"
Oh, she did.
She did it.
She basically said that to me at one point. She's like, "Oh, like Rat Race." No, not like Rat Race.
And then you take back Mad World videotape and you slide over divorce papers. You're like, there you go.
The closest thing to it to Mad World in modern times is Anchorman. Because it's a Mad World. What made it so special, for those you haven't seen it, is that it's a movie in the 60s, 70s, where every comedy star came together for one movie.
Everyone was in it.
Every single person is in it.
Well, it is funny. The one from way back when made Mad World, which is, I wish we had a nickname for it. Even to say it a lot is annoying. But they did Rat Race as a remake of it, and it is legitimately a remake of the story, but then it's not with the level of celebrity that was involved in.
So that's the thing. But Anchorman, particularly the second one, but even the first one, it was just that golden time where everybody was doing those movies.
Right.
There's a lot of people who show up in it. I'm just trying to think of a movie like that where it's in modern times, actually all the biggest comedians showed up in one movie.
I think they could do it around a different storyline. I think if they were hey,
yeah,
we're gonna have it would have to be a very big celebrity as the front person.
Yes, and then you do it as Mad World did, which was you cast 20. There's 20 main people on this journey, but then there's 50 side characters. So you're only there for a day. Jerry Lewis is only in it for 2 seconds.
It's all cameos.
The 3 that's weird. There's not cameos.
Luxury Lounge. My tickets are too secure. Dearest Jared, feather. I'm thinking of you as I attempt to download tickets to see a far less funny comedian right now. Oh no.
Jesus.
Oh shit. calling out people. I saw you in Nashville, laughed so hard my cheeks hurt. Thank you for future wrinkles. Well, thank you. I'll admit the saga started when I went to add tickets to my Apple Wallet. Searched my email and bank statement only to realize the purchase hadn't been completed. My bad completely. I scrambled to find another ticket and purchased one. Yes, I'm going solo from StubHub. Several minutes later, I received an email saying my ticket shipped and said I had to download an app to access them. This happens with football games all the fucking time. And I hate it. Like, and here's what bothers me. They have the technology to make this easy. And the reason they're doing it is to sell you more shit, to get you on their email chain, to get you to spam the hell out of you with emails that you don't want to listen to, you're never going to listen to. Yep. This is not going to work. For every one person it turns on to your product, it turns 3 off. I truly believe that because I go to NFL football games only because of my brother. So I would never go to an NFL football game on my own dime.
Disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the biggest monsters, grossest people alive go to football games. I'm sorry. You're like, I go to.
I mean, I like them also.
Well, I just think like I've been to a Jets game when the Patriots play there. Some guy like took his hand and put it in my popcorn and like called me like a slur. Like it was like the whole experience, top to bottom. I go now because my brother works for a team. He's like, hey, we're going to be here. And I'm like, this is a fun, enjoyable thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like I have any investment in it because I'm getting the friends and family discount or free ticket or whatever. And, and I can waltz in, waltz out, feel no pain.
The VIP, goodbye. Well, the thing is like, yes. So when you're buying a ticket and you're just in the crowd, like, you're in the crowd. You're in a crowd of a football game. And yes, sports fans in general, take it out of football. Sports fans, well, I also have a podcast called Everything But the Scores where we talk about all the stories around sports, and a big part of it is like, if you don't watch sports, you can listen to my podcast.
Right.
Because I will just tell you the stories. But a big problem with it is so many people are turned off from sports because of the people.
What's your team?
DC Sports all around. So Commanders. Wizards,
Tough
Nationals.
one to cheer for.
Horrible, brutal, terrible. Terrible team to cheer for. One of the worst owners alive. Right. Just a bad human.
Lots of great stories to talk about surrounding the team.
Yes.
Great being used in the big sense, not like good stories.
It's fascinating. If you want a very isolated version of kind of how a bad person, it is very hard to get repercussions. Like, because this is a man who has been 17 different reports of he did this shitty thing. Then he did this shitty thing. Sexually harassed this person.
Right.
Bad workplace environment. Did this shitty thing. And everyone, he comes out with the same statement of like, that's just not true. And everybody goes, but we have every...
And we love football too much to turn away from football.
You're born into a team.
Right.
Like, that's the thing that's very hard for people who don't watch sports is like my dad raised me when I was born. He was like, you root for DC Sports. Those are your teams. I will never turn. That's the saddest part. That's the thing I always, and I've yelled 700 times about this to the Commanders, being like, you're never going to lose me as a fan.
It's you are stuck with them.
You're never going to lose me.
So why with someone
not?
You've gotten divorced from.
So why not make some good choices? Why not be a good team? It's not like you're going to this idea of if we were to do this, we might lose some fans. It's like you've lost every. I'll tell you this about about the Commanders. They've lost every fan that wasn't born into this. There's nobody left.
Right. They only have the people that have to be
that are like me, who are like, I will root for this team forever. I have no choice in the matter.
Right.
I will always root for
They've done everything they could to shake their fan base tree of all the loose leaves. And there's a point, if you to go to Danny's point, this team used to have their big clan. I had a friend who was a huge Washington football team fan who he would brag that they had the largest fan base, that they were worth the most money. And they at one point, this is when I was in college and right around you were in college as well, they were worth the most money, they had the largest fan base, and then they also had the longest wait for season tickets.
Yes.
All of that is gone.
Gone to a degree that is comical.
It's crazy.
Comical. We can't, because our stadium's falling apart because we have a bad owner. And when you have a bad owner, bad things happen. So just a couple fun things about our stadium. Our pipes are constantly bursting. So during a game last year, shit literally rained down on fans. That is a thing that has happened multiple times. That happened multiple times.
So you go to a game, you're
Yes.
like, oh yeah, we got my jersey on.
Yeah,
Then you walk out. What happened? You have duty on you.
Yeah, just sprays down on people. There was a quarterback last year who was running off, and a bunch of fans were trying to say hello, and the railing just broke, and everybody fell.
I remember this. Yeah,
that was
so
great.
There's like literal injury that could happen to you. From
it's kind of the one stadium I actually won't go to because I'm like it's not safe.
I've had nice experiences at stadiums. I mean, I went to the Vegas Raiders game.
I still haven't been in that stadium.
It's very cool that you're across the street from, Vegas.
I've driven by it,
yeah,
because it looks like a spaceship.
Yeah, they call it the Death Star. Yeah,
it's so cool.
And it's like cool that it's the Vegas Raiders. Like
Yeah.
they have like live music playing. Like they've dove into Vegas as a personality in a way that you're like, that's exactly how I would have done it. There's a creative mind there. The Washington football team. I feel for you, but I also, but this is part of this thing where it's like, I'm going to the game already. I'm stuck with the second app you made me download.
Yep.
Like when I got to the app, I had to create a login, verify my login via email. Finally, I was in. Found my ticket, opened a mobile ID with an option to view the barcode. I screenshot the mobile ID only to find out it refreshes every 60 seconds and click the barcode, which I learned only appears after having the mobile ID scanned at the venue. I don't even need to see the proof that they've sent. I can't help but complain about the inefficiency and reliance on technology. I understand wanting to keep a ticket secure, but why create a technological Rubik's Cube? After dropping big bucks on a resale ticket, I want it in my Apple Wallet with a backup screenshot and to move along. Often performance venues have spotty cell phone service. I simply don't want another app on my phone. It's secure enough for a flight on Delta. It should be secure enough for John Mulaney at Ryman.
So it won't be. Here's the problem. Your grievance is correct, and I'm not here to poo-poo.
Sure,
I know what we're here to do. You can't do it on a screenshot because then anybody can get a hold of that screenshot,
right? Potentially
get in, and once people are in, unlike a Delta flight where if somebody were to copy your ticket, they'd be able to figure out. Wait a second,
You're correct.
Yes.
The screenshot isn't the problem, though.
Yes.
They're only screenshotting
because I hear you
we're
all day.
17 things away.
Yes.
It should have started at one button on my wallet.
Yes.
Then you wouldn't have thought, well, maybe I should have a screenshot because this whole process, because I forgot to put in my bin and whatever.
Yes.
The screenshot is a fix to a fix. It's the issue is that they are so concerned with selling us a next ticket and getting on their email chain to sell the subscription for the Geffen Auditorium that they have now forgotten the original ticket and the reason people have gone.
Yes.
That's what's so frustrating.
I have a bunch of apps on my phone that are just based around a ticket I bought
one
time.
And it's like, why are we doing this?
Yes.
And it's because to sell us more, you're a pig, ticket people.
Pigs.
You're being pigs.
You're being pigs.
Let me buy my ticket. I'm even paying a $9 service fee. For what service?
Yes.
We don't even know. We're letting that go. We are literally
the
okay
service
with that.
fee will always, now that's one that'll always get me through the roof.
Right. We're annoyed at it, but we're doing it. We're doing it. And but now it's almost like it's a fetish for them.
Yes.
They're like, you're gonna pay the service fee? I knew you would, you little bitch.
Yeah, of course you're going to.
Yeah,
What
that's
choice
right.
do you have?
How about you download a number of their 17 apps?
I still have. Talk about a champagne problem, but I still have my Super Bowl app. She's just for the Super Bowl.
It's crazy.
And granted, cool to have, and it's a cool memory that I see.
Right.
But I also go, it's just for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so is a hat you buy.
We couldn't get an NFL app. It had to be the Super Bowl app.
Just to get another email.
Yep.
Luxury Lounge, iPhone's guided access for kids. Wow. JTrain, a million feathers to the content king himself. Wow. My complaint this week is to iPhone. I have a 2-year-old daughter whom occasionally wakes up for hours in the middle of the night. I got a tip from my mom group to use the guided access setting. Limits your phone to one app per Google. One app per Google. And decided to, I don't know what that means, and decided to let her watch her show in Safari while I try to catch some Z's. To my horror, when we woke up for the day, I was instantly shocked by a DM from my cousin. My daughter had DM'd her on Instagram with an article I had been reading about potty training tips. Seems like no big deal, but she has a 4-year-old who still isn't potty trained and is very sensitive about it since her daughter can't participate in dance or soccer without being potty trained. I then realized that in guided access, if you hit the upload icon, you can send a message or email to anyone recently contacted. This is a weird loophole to I'm guessing the guided access is so that you can't do anything else, right?
I feel like when you finish this, I'm going to have to read this really quick.
Right.
I got lost halfway.
I mean, I'm lost. So if a message email can be sent to any app in your phone by pressing the upload button, the access is not limited to one app. So the guided access is basically like, I want this person using my phone for one thing and one thing only. And somehow has a trick you can do that can let you send messages to people while you're in the one app, which is not that. No. This is not what I did this for.
Yes.
Hopefully this complaint reaches someone at Apple and the problem can be resolved. Thank you for look that we're customer service now. Thank you for letting me vent for the hundreds of hours of podcasts. Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
You did this for this reason, and it's like the idea that I need, some sort of emergency. No. This isn't life or death also. Like, it's not like, oh, well, what if someone's stuck on the app and can't get out and can't breathe? No, that's not what's going to happen.
Right.
It's not, we have no reason to send a message. And I mean, quite a coincidence that they're looking at potty train and gets sent to the one person sensitive about it. But
I mean, that's a tough break, but it's
tough crazy.
Tough break. But yeah, I don't even understand why this exists in the first place. And then,
I guess so your baby. Well, here's the solution is get your baby an iPad. Like, cut the shit. I think
that's what people are doing, right?
Right. And then they go, well, I don't want my kid on the iPad. If you're the person that's like, oh, I have this one thing so that I don't have to get them an iPad because I'd feel weird, get over it. The kid's going to be looking at his phone
I know.
More than
I
us.
love those. But then I'm like, the problem is when you don't have kids, you're just not allowed to weigh in.
You can't weigh in, but you do hear this thing of like, well, we're going to have a child. And this is the thing. I don't think I'm above anyone with a kid. Like, to me, like, however you get it done, you get it fucking done. And so I'm more against, you can't weigh in if you're like, well, you should not let your kid look at a screen. I'm in the camp of give the kid the fucking screen. It's over.
I will never judge a parent for having a kid on a screen. Like, yeah, I get it.
I need the screen.
Their mind is like occupied. I don't know. Like, yeah, it shouldn't be all day, but it's like, I get it.
Right.
I certainly would never. I'll never. I mean, I guess at some point I'll have a kid, maybe, probably, but like, I'm like, I'll never judge somebody for that stuff. As long as it's hard.
It's the same as judging someone for bringing their stuff to Goodwill that might be thrown away.
Well, that's what this show's all about.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. We got time for one more? How many we got time for? One more? Okay, I'll give you the
give me a juicy one.
Guest choice.
Ooh.
Teacher wish list woes. Luxury lounge healthy food at work. Who should my emergency contact be?
Let's go emergency contact because I feel like I know that world. I don't know teacher. I don't know the other ones. So like, let's go to one that like I feel like I feel confident in weighing in.
Other ones for another episode. Luxury lounge. Who should my emergency contact be? Jared. I lived with a boyfriend for 2+ years. When we were together, he was my emergency contact. Fast forward, we broke up and have been for 1.5 years. Fine, whatever. He sucked anyways. But here's the issue.
Don't love that part, but okay.
Okay.
But we're supportive here. So
yeah,
good. Good.
You're out of a relationship you shouldn't have been in. Okay, my emergency contact. I'm 33, live in Texas. I own a home, have 2 dogs, have a job in financial services sales, teach yoga on the side, have plenty of friends, but literally can't think about anyone else for my emergency contacts except for my 6-year-old parents that live in Michigan. Is this embarrassing or sad or just life? And also, when I was signing my most recent closing for my house, the notary said, this is your title that the state recognizes you as blank unmarried woman. Why do they have to do that?
Seems unnecessary.
Right. Your title that the state recognizes you as blank blank unmarried woman. She wrote it in all caps. She wrote her name, but I'm not going to give away her name. I will protect.
I'll tell you this though: buying a house is they are so, because I'll tell you this, like, we bought a condo, me and my wife, which was very exciting and very hard to do, and we got it done. But I'll tell you that the bank, for me, if you do this, because I do okay.
Right.
I was contributing. I was as much a contributor as anybody else. But she has a regular job, and I have this.
Right.
And the bank literally looked at me, and they were like, so we're going to pretend you don't exist.
They
And I was like, but I have money. I make money. I'm a person. And that, for the sake of the deal and for the loan that you have to take out in order to buy a house, we're going to pretend you're not here.
That is, don't mess, a bank.
Said it to my face.
Right.
And I had to go, okay. I just sat there while it felt like the adults got to talk.
Right. We're better off without you than with you.
Yes. Literally.
To get a
loan, if you aren't here, we can really do something.
Right. We're going to get a lot more money to it.
I printed out all the money in my bank account. I'm like
the bank has no emotion.
Yes.
They just want to get
Do you have a W-2? Do you have a W-2 coming tomorrow? Nope. Then get out of here.
Pipe down, little one.
Yeah. So
the bank's looking at them going, blank, unmarried woman.
I get it. I get that feeling. It's just like, okay, there's got to be a nicer way to put this.
She writes, I looked at my loan officer and realtor and said, shit, is this going on my tombstone? Anywho, who should us single people... right.
Good joke in the room. I'll tell you right now, they didn't laugh. Those people have no sense of humor.
We could get you a good tombstone.
Gary said, here, I'll tell you exactly what happened. You said that, and they went, what? This could be put on my tombstone.
Oh. I know a tombstone guy.
Yeah.
We suggesting tombstone.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll badly put... Yes. Well, tombstones, say it.
Anywho, who should us single people in our 30s have as our emergency contact? So this is a good question.
It's a great question.
A good complaint.
That's why I feel very confident weighing in on this, as I think you would as well.
For sure.
And here's the tough answer. It's your parents.
In Michigan, they just put them down? I guess at that point they're just being told an emergency is happening in another state. They can't do anything.
Well, but nobody can do anything in an emergency. The whole point of an emergency contact is it isn't like someone's like they don't call the emergency contact being like they're choking. We need someone right now.
Right.
That's not what an emergency contact is. Emergency contact is someone you call.
Where should we deliver the body?
Yes.
Your son is dead.
Or your son is in the hospital. They broke their arm. Either way, it is never something that you need to be there in 2 seconds. You just know, as long as you have a good relationship with parents, you know your parents are going to at least have the number of a couple of your friends, blah, blah, blah. You just need somebody who has to be able to coordinate shit.
I think, right. But the problem is, if my parents got called, hey, Jared's in the hospital, they go, we don't know who to even call here.
Really?
I don't think they would they call Shelby? I don't know. I don't know who my parents would call in that scenario. So
Shelby, what would you do to help?
We can do each other. So we're each other's emergency contact. Well, that's my suggestion. Is she needs to go to a friend and go and have an emergency contact.
Yeah.
Night.
Yes.
That's a fun single 30s things to do. Hey, want to go out? Want to have emergency and ask them to be your emergency contact?
That's kind of sweet.
Isn't that sweet?
That's very sweet.
It's sad. Like if the waiter came over, what are you guys celebrating? Well,
we're each other's emergency contacts.
We're so alone that we have no one else.
We're gonna, in case one of us gets shot, we're gonna have the other one get called. So we're pretty excited.
We decided to have a spicy marg in celebration.
Spicy marg and go over our end of life wishes, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah. What a fun date.
That's a good time.
That's a good time. It's an excuse to go out. And
I would say this hunting that.
Yeah, let's call up one friend, and it does. Emergency contact. Again, they're just getting the call to let someone know.
Yes, they are not actually there to handle the emergency.
No, they're not the doctor.
They're only being told. I personally would recommend, because by the way, your friend isn't going to know how to contact your parents either, so it's going to go vice versa.
It goes both ways.
It's going to go both ways. I personally did my parents until I got married. Debatably still do my parents sometimes because I'm like
who would be better in this situation?
Yeah, I'm like, my dad's pretty quick. And my wife, my wife was gonna. I mean, my wife loves me. She's a very sweet woman.
She's like, I couldn't make it to the phone. I was in the closet with all my clothes.
With all my clothes, I had to decide. But I was gonna visit you at the hospital, but I just had to figure out what I was gonna wear.
Right.
Yeah, but no, she's it's yes. I always had my parents. That's always what I did. I think that's a great way to go. I trust my parents to at least know the basic idea of what I need.
Well, listen, we solved it. We solved this issue.
Solved it.
We solved the luxury lounge. Danny Jolles, thank you for coming on.
Oh my God, my absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me as always. I say this on every podcast I do when I do something like this, but it is, it's very scary to put out a special, and it's very hard, and it is very hard when you publicist, whatever, like getting anybody to notice anything. And when you have friends who have successful podcasts, it is very scary to ask, and you are always so kind to let me on. It really means a lot to everybody who watches this.
Come in.
It's a good person.
This is in the middle of
interrupted.
This
Very beautiful, heartfelt speech. Oh, no, it's over now. It's over now.
We'll cut this out. Hold on 1 second. I thought he was going to come in after the first ring, and then he kept knocking. I was like, "Oh, you can hear us out there. Hold on, step back."
Unbelievable.
Your heartfelt speech.
Anyway, you're a good person. That's all I wanted to say. Forget it. Whatever.
Keep it in. I'm sorry. No, I appreciate it. We're happy you came on. You were fantastic. Everyone, go follow Danny at Danny Jolles on Instagram. It is a new special. It's out right now, waiting for you. It's called You Choose, youtube.com/Don't Tell Comedy. It's there, waiting, wonderful, so funny. You're going to love it. And Danny has another special that's out there, like, waiting for you, too. So, like, there's, like, that is my one love of the internet world is that they'll go, someone listening is going, "Oh, Danny, I'll check him out." And then there's just this whole, like, fun weekend of laughs.
And, there's a lot of people throwing around the word comedian these days who do various levels of just yelling at crowd members. Right. And it is really fun, I think, when there's people who, if you go online, you will see us actually do the art form stand-up comedy.
There it is.
And we aren't always fighting with people in the crowd. And that's something.
Go follow at Danny Jolles. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Thursday in the lounge. Keep sending your emails, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back next episode. Boom.